Welcome to the Sanity and Self-Care Challenge, 52 weeks of tips, tricks, and hacks to achieving greater well-being in 2020. I'm Christine, for those of you who don't know me, and each week I am sharing evidence-based practices that are proven to create more calm and overall joy in your life. The goal is that you are able to implement a few of these on a consistent basis so that you can start to see change in your life, consistent change in your life. So last week we talked about gratitude, and I just want to ask you, what came up for you? What have you learned? Did you find it difficult? Or maybe you found it very easy to do. We're kind of just bringing up some awareness around this without judgment, just this curiosity piece. Maybe you noticed by implementing your 3 things that you're grateful for in the morning that you noticed that you were able to shift your perspective throughout the day. Or maybe you noticed that it was easier to do in the evening. I just would love to hear, so be sure to share with me. I'm trying to figure that out, that piece, but email me. I'd love to hear. Also, so this week, week 2, what we're working on is mindfulness. So mindfulness can come in a variety of ways, and we'll be sharing other practices throughout this 52-week challenge. However, we're going to start this week with mindful breathing. So just so you know, mindfulness is paying attention in the present moment without judgment and curiosity. So what happens is, with mindfulness, what we're addressing is our unconscious thoughts and behaviors that are going out, and how that is affecting and increasing our stress in our life and our overall health. And then what happens with an ongoing mindfulness practice, we're able to dive deeper and really gain some greater insight into the programs that are running automatic in our minds. And we can really kind of look at those and see how we want to kind of take those programs with us or leave some behind in order to create the life that we want. So week 2 is mindful breathing. And the reason why I chose this is because it played an important part of my life. In my healing journey, mindful breathing, what we're going to talk about, was used as an anchoring and a grounding practice. So when I was feeling these high, intense emotions, for me at the time, it was going through some PTSD, but really, if I look back at a lot of my life, it was more of when I was in this reactive state. So where I started noticing it play a huge part in my life was with my son. And so my son would have these horrible temper tantrums, or my ex would say things that would trigger this like immense physical sensation in my body. And I would literally come out of my skin, and I would be reactive, and I had no time to even pause or think. And so no way to slow down, 0 to 100 in no time at all. And I really hadn't learned any tools to manage this. I was medicated at one point in time, and so that helped for a while, but it never gave me any tools. So the mindfulness piece, the mindful breath, allowed me to kind of take a step back and learn to engage in a breath and a pause, so that I was able to respond rather than react. And the crazy thing about this is that I noticed the change in my son, and how when I learned how to manage these skills better, then he did as well. And his fits started to decrease as my fits started to decrease. And so the science, the neuroscience behind this is that when we start integrating mindfulness on an ongoing basis, we are lessening, shortening the activity in our amygdala, which is our emotional part of our brain. And when we are lessening that, we're also increasing the connectivity to our prefrontal cortex, which is more of our awareness and our focus and concentration and our decision making. And so, what comes with this is it's literally calming our nervous system. It's changing the neural pathways in our brain. So as I was becoming calmer and being able to again respond with that pause and that present awareness, my son began to as well. So how did I learn this? Well, it was with integrating a mindful breath for 1 minute. I started with focusing on the inhale and the exhale of my breath for 1 minute. Then I would increase it to 2 minutes and then 3 minutes. And so, eventually I started using other modalities of mindfulness and meditation, but it all began with learning to insert a pause. And so by practicing that in the morning, which is what I did, it helped me to be better able to do that when I was in the midst of the chaos or the situation, where I learned to slowly be able, when I started to feel those physical sensations in my body, rather than just reacting, I could take a pause. And then that pause got longer. And then I started to train my brain into recognizing, okay, I can pause, I can take a breath. And so what is really going on here? And then start kind of challenging and questioning my thoughts. But it all has to start somewhere, and it has to start in a way that is manageable. So this week's Sanity Hack and Challenge is a mindful breath. So I would encourage you to add this to your morning routine that you have. Maybe if you've started it with your 3 things that you're thankful for, that you're grateful for, or if you want to add it into the evening, but at a specific time, set your timer on your phone, and you are going to focus on the breath, the inhale and the exhale. And you're just noticing where it's coming in through your body, what it feels like, where it's coming out. You're not trying to control the breath. You're not trying to change it. You're just paying attention to the breath. Do this every day for the week, and then we'll touch base next week and see how it went. Thank you again for joining me on this journey of creating a more aware, thoughtful, joyful, and calm life. And I look forward to seeing you in a week. Bye-bye.